Sending money back home is expensive, slow, and time-consuming. Not anymore. Introducing Denari Cash. Denari Cash solves this in a simple way. Denari Cash don't send money across border. Yes, you heard it right. So, you want to know how do we send money internationally without sending across the border? Simple. You make a local payment to Denari Cash, and Denari Cash makes a local payment to your recipient. That's right, it's local in then local out. From any account to any cash pickup and major bank account. That's the reason why Denari Cash makes money transfers so much cheaper and faster. Available on any mobile, tablet, and computer. Denari Cash is trusted and loved by tens of thousands of people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now and start saving now with Denari Cash.
Yon! So, welcome to another Finance Friday with Kuya Jay, aka the Purpose-Driven Advisor. Teka lang, ang hirap palang mag-live na naka-mask. Oh my God! So, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And this special episode is always available sa aking Pera and Purpose Podcast. Ayan, sa aking Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Teka lang nga, tatanggalin ko na to at medyo nahihirapan din ako magsalita na naka-mask. Oh. Woo! Grabe lang. Ayan. So, alisin ko na to. Tama ng pagpapanggap. Ang gulo ng book ni Kuya Jay. And, ang ating episode for this evening, okay, is all about financial horror stories. But before we continue, I would like to say a huge thanks muna sa aking regular viewers out there. And a big shout out to Denari Cash for supporting. Naka-on ba yung mic ko? Naka-on naman yung mic ko. Hindi ko lang yata narinig sarili ko. For supporting my advocacy on financial literacy. So if you're watching this or if you're new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe sa aking Facebook, YouTube, and connect with me on LinkedIn. Ayan! So before we start, i-greet ko muna ang ating mga viewers. Meron tayong 2 million viewers right now. Hindi ko lang makita. Nasaan yung names nila? I don't know how. I don't know where I can see their names. Pero if you're watching this, pwede bang mag-shoutout naman kayo dyan. Say something sa ating comment section. Para alam ko na you are watching with me or watching with your other friends this evening. Or kung anong oras na dyan sa Pinas, it's 11 p.m. If you're in Singapore, shoutout sa'yo dyan. And if you're in the UAE, huge shoutout to you, of course. So, let's get on with this. Ang dami kong mga naipon na kwento na sana mapagkasyo ko within the next 40 minutes to an hour. Okay? So, financial horror stories. And one thing that I always remember here is yung magandang gabi bayan na yan. O pag-uwi ako ng Pinas or nung kabataan ko yung mga ganyang kwento ng magandang gabi bayan na lagi ko naririnig. Pero wala pa ako narinig na compilation ng mga financial horror stories, yung mga nakakatakot na paranormal activities na yung mga kaibigan mong bigla na lang go-ghosting after makapanghiram ng something from you. After nila makuha ang lahat ng kailangan nila sa'yo, they would start ghosting you. So, well, if you have any horror story sa inyong financial journey, sana i-share nyo siya, okay? So, let's start the evening with my first story. Teka, ang gulo ng book ni Kuya Jay, no? Parang ito kasing mask eh. Yan. So, ang first story ni Kuya Jay is about a story of life and death. Ayan. Utang agad, no? A story of life and death. It happened once when may nag-DM sa akin sa LinkedIn and he said that this person needs guidance or help sa kanyang problem with debt. So, yung kanyang, he's earning really quite well. Roughly nasa 221,000 pesos per month ang kanyang kinikita. And ang expenses niya is wala pa sa 10,000 per month. So imagine, di ba? If you are that person who's earning that huge amount of money, and definitely, ang ganda na ng buhay mo. Ang sarap na nun. It's the best. Siguro, that would be the best situation ever that anyone could experience. Na all your financial options are there because of the huge income that you're receiving. Kaya lang, unfortunately, for this guy, he is really struggling. And that's the reason why that person contacted me. Now, when we were running dun sa kanyang, niraran namin yung kanyang numbers, yung kanyang finances, Meron siyang 13 counts, ha, 13 counts of hindi naman krimen, okay, hindi naman krimen, but 13 different, debts from siguro ilan, from 3 financial institutions or 2 financial institutions, and even sa mga telephone providers or telecommunications provider, meron siyang debts. So, anong nangyari was this, nagballoon yung debt niya to roughly 6.7 million pesos. And the reason kung ba't yun nangyari is when he came dito sa UAE, he had the opportunity to borrow money from 2 different banks. Okay? And yung loan niya was approved, nagkasabay yung pagkaka-approve ng kanyang loans. So, magkano na loan niya? That's almost the same amount na utang niya ngayon. Kaya lang, when he had that huge money, hindi niya alam kung paano niya siya gagastusin. Paano niya i-manage yung ganong kalaking pera. It's the first time that he had that money right in front of his, in front of his face. And what he did there is that bumili siya ng mansion dun sa kanilang lugar. Hindi siya bahay, it's a mansion. That's what he told me. And then he bought cars, he bought some properties, and majority of those, just like what he said, talaga na mismanage na. And then some years ago, yung wife niya had to bear children, and kambal pa yung nag-anak nila. So mas nagkaroon sila ng mga financial struggles. Now, the situation there is that ang nangyayari ngayon is yung every end of the month, ang kanyang cash flow is always negative for the next coming years na ganun yung kanyang lifestyle, palaging magiging negative yung kanyang cash flow. And yung story niya is a huge reminder for me na it's not always about the income that you earn, okay, but it's about how we manage our finances. Kasi meron naman mga low-income earners but they still manage to save some money and invest. Kaya lang, yung situation nung ating first story about life and death is that if we do not know how to manage our finances well, then definitely, kahit gaano kalaki ang ating kinikita, babagsak pa rin yung ating situation. I mean, our situation won't be as good as it was. Kaya nga, there was a reading na nabasa ko na money can be a blessing or it can be a curse to someone. It would depend on someone who's gonna receive it. Kaya minsan mas mabuti na we learn how to manage a small amount of money first before we start managing yung huge amounts of money. So that is the thing. Kasi normally, when expats come to this place, to this country, to the UAE, they are handed or they have a lot of opportunities in borrowing a huge sum of money, times 5, times 10, and even times 20 of their income. The only challenge is hindi sila sanay mag-manage ng ganong kalaking finances. And guess what? If you're only trained to handle a small amount of money, like let's say you're only trained to have 10,000 dirhams or 10,000 pesos every month, and binigyan ka ng 1 million, guess what? Ang matitira lagi sa yung pera is always 10,000 pesos or 10,000 dirhams. Yan yung tinatawag natin na mental wallet. So it's a different story, it's a different topic that what I can share with you. But dito dito sa aking friend na to, dito sa aking na-meet na to online about his story about life and death, is ganun yung nangyari sa kanya. So again, hindi lang tayo dapat magaling mag-create ng income. Even if we are earning a lot, if we do not know how to manage our finances really well, then definitely hindi natin siya masusustain. Ayan. So regularly we still get to talk about his situation, and good thing it's progressing na. Kaya I really do hope na mas maging better ng kanyang life after niya malabanan ito or after niya makaahon sa debts na naipon niya over these years. Now, yung aking second story, wait lang, inom muna si Kuya Jay. At ito yung second live ni Kuya Jay, no? Medyo hindi pa siya sanay masyado. Ayan. Whew, okay. So, the next story is about the finer prints in life. Ano na naman ano yan? Ano na naman title yan, Kuya J? Wala ka na maisip. Wala, wala na talaga yung maisip. But this. Now, I have a friend na mahilig mag-travel. So, we all have those friends na mahilig mag-travel, right? And hindi ko alam kung nakailan. I think na-travel niya na ang buong mundo. So, medyo sawa na siya siguro mag-travel. I do hope na sawa na siya mag-travel. And magaling siya sa pera, by the way. Magaling mag-handle ng finances. He knows what he wants in life and magaling siya mag-save. Now, there was one time na nag-travel siya sa, I think it was, saan ba, Europe, part ng Europe or somewhere, doon sa part na yon. Okay. Now, nag-message siya sa akin sa Facebook regarding a claim sa kanyang baggage delay. So, meron siyang travel insurance and the baggage delay is dapat 1,000 yung kanyang pwedeng i-reimburse. Ayan. Kaya lang, unfortunately, alam niyo ba anong nangyari? Bakit na-delay? Hindi ko alam yung reason ba't na-delay yung kanyang bagahe. Pero for 2 days, wala siyang damit and wala daw siya ligo for those 2 days na yon. Now, nung pagbalik niya dito, he's trying to ask for a claim and unfortunately, na-decline yung kanyang request. Oo, and sabi niya, naku, scam talaga yung mga insurance na yan. So, sabi ko, teka lang, tignan muna natin. And nung nireview namin yung finer prints nung kanyang travel insurance, nakalagay doon na dapat in excess of 3 hours, meron siyang pwedeng i-reimburse na $50. Every 3 hours, yun yung katumbas. So, nag-total namang 2 days, wala yung bagahe niya. So, he was expecting a compensation of roughly $800. Kaya lang, nung nag-claim na nga siya, hindi siya in-approve. Bakit? Kasi nakalagay dun sa finer print ng kanyang travel insurance, it has to be reimbursed. Ngayon, tinanong ko siya, okay, ano binili mo for the last 2 days? Wala. Eh sabi ko, anong i-reimburse sa'yo niyan? Wala pala. By the way, hindi siya kumuha sa akin hindi siya kumuha sa akin ng travel insurance. Nag-reach out lang siya sa akin kasi nga he knows na travel insurance is one of the things that we sell din sa aming company. So, nung going back to the story, kaya lang nakalagay dun bro, sabi ko, yung essential things should be bought for a maximum amount of $1,000. Kasi nakalagay doon sa finer prints doon sa kanyang travel insurance is dapat meron siyang receipt na ipapakita. Kaya lang, unfortunately, wala siyang binili for 2 days. And hindi niya siguro nabasa yung part na yon nung contract na kapag mawawala yung na part ng baggage claim is magpe-present siya ng invoice or ng receipt. So, yon, medyo bad trip siya doon. Nag-email siya sa kung sino mang CEO nung insurance company na yun. Kaya sabi ko, bro, let it go na lang. Let it go! Let it go! Ganun na lang. Kasi, hindi natin nabasa. It's a responsibility of both parties. The person who sold the insurance, the travel insurance should have informed yung friend ko. And my friend should have also read yung terms and conditions of those of that insurance or yung terms insurance nung travel insurance company na yun. And some other things that I want to add dito sa finer prints in life na story, no. Napakarami din na kumukuha ng insurance from the bank. Ito yung mga magtatawag sa'yo, offering you cheap term insurance or cheap form of insurance kasi you have a savings account sa kanila or meron kang credit card. Ngayon, kukuha ka and then hindi mo naman din babasahin lahat. Alam mo lang you are insured for, let's say, sabihin natin 50 dirhams a month lang, you're covered for 200,000 dirhams, ganyan. Kaya lang, if you do not read the fine prints in life or the fine prints of that contract na sinalihan mo or nag-join ka, kung ano mang tawag nila dyan sa bank na yan, ang pinaka-horror story dyan is the moment na magkakaroon ka ng claim. Okay, let me explain. Let's say kumuha ka nga ng life insurance over the phone na in-offer lang sa'yo nung nakausap mo na taga-bank. Hindi mo na binasa yun. Sinend lang sa'yo sa email, hindi mo na binasa. You know na you're insured. Ang mahirap doon is, pag nag-claim na yung family mo, normally, ang na-offer dyan is accidental death benefit lang. or disability benefit due to accident. What if natsugi ka not because of accident, yung normal na normal na pagkamatay, yung nakalimutan mo lang huminga. Ayan, tapos hindi ka na nakahinga the next day. O kaya yung basta if it's related to health. So hindi yun accident, right? Hindi ka nasagasaan, hindi ka na final destination, okay? Then ibig sabihin, okay, wala po kayong makukuhang claim. Kasi nga again, nakasulat dun sa iyong contract is yung cause of death should be due to accident. And normally, kaya mura yung manggato insurance kasi nga, accidental death is much cheaper than yung usual na life insurance. So, you gotta read the finer prints of your contract. If hindi to hindi lang to about insurance, it's anything about the contracts that you're going to sign. Be it a property that's being sold to you, even yung contract mo sa kumpanya, you really have to read it. Kasi nga, merong smallest details dyan na hindi nasasabi or hindi mo na rin agad mabasa unless you gonna ask it. So, you really have to make sure na you read that. And one other story that I can share dito is that merong mga savings plan na i-offer sa market, sabihin nila na may kasama na itong um, death benefit. Okay. So, iisipin mo na lang bigla, okay, so hindi ko na kailangan ng insurance. I just have to pay for this savings program kasi meron nitong death benefit. So, okay na to. I think hindi na to kailangan ng family ko. I mean, hindi ko na kailangan kumuha ng life insurance for my family. I just have to save money. Now, number one, the challenge with that is if hindi mo alam kung magkano kailangan ng family mo when you die, baka yung death benefit na yan will never be enough. And number two, normally, sa mga savings program, ang nakalagay dyan is the moment that the policy owner dies, yung 101% of the current market value or the current fund value ang makukuha nila. So pag tinignan mo yung contract, yung laki, 101%. And then ilalagay nyo dyan yung sa illustration, yung target amount, let's say it's 1 million pesos, kunyari lang, it's 1 million pesos. So, you might think na, okay, mukhang 1 million pesos, baka 1 million pesos plus 1% yung makukuha ko dito. Pero, again, dun sa finer prints ng contract na yan, normally nakalagay dyan is of 101% of the current value of your funds. So, hindi yung target amount. Kaya you really have to read through the contract when it's not clear to you. You have to ask the person who's offering this. Pag ba sinabi na 101% of the fund value, does it mean ito bang value na nakalagay dito sa target value niya, or you mean yung current value the moment na matsugi si client? So you gotta ask those questions. Kasi if not, you might assume na, pag namatay ako, may 1 million ako kahit naguhulog pa lang 100K. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? So, you gotta make sure na you ask. Ayan. So, may bago kayo natutunan today from Kuya Jay in terms of some savings programs. Inom mo na ulit tubig si Kuya Jay. Ay, sarap. Pinakamasarap na tubig ngayong araw is this. Pag umiinom ka during live. Okay. Eto. The next story that I'm gonna share with you is this. And baka narinig nyo na rin to from someone else, from a friend, or from a neighbor or a relative. This is the story of the uninsured wife. One time, when I went to a hospital in Sharjah para i-meet yung isang client na nag-transfer sa akin. Kasi yung client ko na yon is planning to withdraw some money sa kanyang savings account. He transferred under my supervision. So, nung papunta na ako dun sa hospital, nandun din kasi anak niya na-hospitalize yung anak ng client ko na yun. When I was walking dun na sa kanilang room, nakita ko yung dati kong office mate sa Philippines. And malungkot yung kanyang muka. And then tinanong ko siya, kamusta ka na? Bro, anong balita? Parang ngayon ulit ang kita. Sabi niya, nga eh. And sabi ko, anong ginagawa mo dito? Sabi niya, yung miss ko kasi na naoperahan siya sa puso. Nilagyan ng stent yung kanyang heart para mag-flow yung blood. And they've been there for 2 days and yung bill nila was already at 100K. 100K thousand dirhams. So that's more than 1 million pesos. And sabi niya, hindi niya, well, okay na yung wife niya, survive naman sa operation. But unfortunately, since ganun kalaki yung bill nila, hindi niya alam kung paano yung babayaran. And it's a very common scenario dito sa UAE wherein many fail to buy a critical illness insurance kasi probably they do not know na meron palang something affordable for them. And I always see those some of our kababayans na fundraising just to pay for the medical bills sa hospital. And nakakalungkot lang kasi if they would have known probably na merong mga critical illness insurance coverage dito sa UAE that is cheaper than your monthly data plan every month. Magkano ba yung mga monthly na yan? Nasa 200 yun. Normally, it's even lower than that. And if that wife of my friend had that critical illness insurance, definitely hindi sila malulubog sa utang. And hindi naman bago yung mga ganito. It's just that siguro it happens because of lack of awareness and lack of understanding of how critical illness insurance works. So yun, another story that I can share with you about the uninsured spouse is yung client ko na isa na she was really, I mean, she's one of my best clients and a very loving child sa kanyang tatay. And sabi niya, gusto kong bigyan ng insurance yung tatay ko kasi nga he's already 40, ganyan, nasa 40s na. And so we went dun sa bahay ng father niya dito. We did the financial planning, needs analysis, all that stuff. And alam natin, pag matanda na, mahal na insurance. So I offered them yung term insurance para something affordable and has decent coverage na within their budget. Kaya lang, sabi nga nung father, parang wala naman tong cash value. So, walang cash value on term insurance. That's why it's cheap and very straightforward lang. So, they opted to not get a term insurance. Sabi, buwasan ko muna yung utang ko and then pag maluwag din cash flow ko, saka nakukuha nung insurance na merong cash value. Sabi ko, okay, sige po, walang problema. Ngayon, 4 months after, I heard the news that nagkaroon ng cancer yung father niya. And unfortunately, survive naman. It's just that it's another financial burden for the family. Dahil it could have been prevented only if kinuha nila yung term insurance with critical illness. Kasi ang critical illness naman has 3 months of waiting period. So, after 4 months nung last ko na-meet yung kanyang father, he could have been eligible for a claim. So, yun, unfortunately, yun nga, since sabi nga na wala nga naman cash value, parang iniisip na sayang yung pera if ang kukunin na insurance is term insurance. Kaya lang, if a person is already at their 40s, dyan din nagkakaroon ng claim for a critical illness. By the way, ang average age of claim for critical illness is 48. And marami nagkasakit by the age of 40. And diba, sabi ng iba, life begins at 40. Oo, dyan talaga, dyan nag-start lahat ng financial struggles. Majority na sa 40s na. Kasi dyan na naipon lahat ng kapalpakan natin from our 20s up until our 40s. And pag tinaman tayong sakit and we are uninsured, and mas mag-i-snowball pa yung problem na yan. And it might be a lifelong struggle only if it was prevented early on. So, yun. I mean, lagi ko sinasabi to na an insurance 5 minutes earlier is better than 5 years earlier in terms of insurance is better than 5 minutes late. Kasi if you're no longer insurable, then there's no way for you to get insured. So, yun. And insurance is always cheap. You just need to get the right insurance for you. Yun lang. And yeah, even I can relate to this kasi nagkasakit ng father ko, he was not insured and we were in debt for a good number of years. So yeah. So alam niyo na kung bakit gaano ka-passionate si Kuya J in terms of financial literacy. Alright? Kasi nga, these things can be prevented only if we have the knowledge and siguro if we have the information din na available to us. And that's one of the reasons bakit I keep putting up content like this so that many people, many Filipinos would be aware of such knowledge. Ngayon, as we are going to our 30-minute mark, pahinga muna tayo saglit. Alright. And if you are there sa hindi ko ewan ko for how many months now, for how many months na I've been doing this, hindi ko talaga alam kung paano ko makikita kung sino yung nanonood sa aking channel. So, if you're still watching this during this 30th minute, so mag-hi ka naman dyan and mayroon pag monologue dito. So, okay. Yung next story ko is about the forever breadwinner. Ayan. Bakit ko nasabing horror story forever breadwinner, no? Well, I met this friend, ilan taon na ba to si ate? I think nasa 45 or 47 ko na siya na-meet. Naging housemate ko siya last a couple of years back. So, hi. Hello po, Miss Maricus Sumission. Meron ka bang horror story na you wanna share? So, going back to my story, no. Itong si forever breadwinner na to na aking friend is nag-work siya sa ibang countries din sa isang she's a healthcare professional, and for the last I think 2 decades of her working life, most of her money is na binigay niya sa kanyang family, sa kapatid pinag-aral, and even sa pamangkin na nag-aral and biglang nag-asawa, until dumating yung point na nandun na siya malapit na siya mag-50, hindi na niya nagawang magpakasal kasi nga she had to support the entire clan. And nung nag-financial planning kami, sabi ko, wala naman siyang utang, it's just that wala rin siyang savings, and wala pa rin siya na I think meron naman siyang bahay. I could not remember the exact ano na nun, pero wala pa siyang enough assets to sustain a long retirement life. Kasi yung buhay nila, nung nagkwentuhan kami, ang haba ng buhay ng family nila eh. Parang buhay pa yata yung lola niya during that time. So ganun, kaya sabi ko, paano ka niyan magre-retire if wala ka pang ipon? So kaya kami nag-financial planning, and yun nga, nakwento niya sa akin yung buhay niya. And sabi niya, pinag-aral ko yung kapatid ko, pinag-aral ko yung mga pamangkin ko, kaya lang, unfortunately, nag-asawa na nga rin sila. And hindi na rin siya kayang suportahan nung mga panahon na yon na. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, well, you really have to save something for yourself na starting today, and you really have to plan kung ano ba yung pinipicture mo na retirement life. Would you still marry? Still have to plan, do you have plans to adopt children or a child, ganyan. So ito yung usual na struggle ng karamihan ng OFW na I think I also saw this sa MMK na sinuportahan ni Lola yung buong angkan. Sabi niya, pag-uwi siya ng Pilipinas, 5 jeep ang sumusundo sa kanya nung kasagsagan niya. Pero nung simula na siyang tumanda and hindi na ganun kalaki kinikita niya, nabawasan na yung mga sumusundo sa kanya. Parang wala na nga ata. And hanggang sa tumanda na lang siya dun sa Italy, and hindi na siya makauwi ng Pinas dahil wala na siyang masyadong income. And hindi siya nakapag-save for anything. So, eto, tama, sabi ni Mato, it's the sandwich generation, which is nangyayari nga siya ngayon. And unfortunately nga, dito sa forever breadwinner na story ko na to is hindi naman sa tumulong, it's just that you also have to save something for yourself. Dahil at the end of the day, ikaw lang din talaga ang asahan mo niyan eh. you can help a lot of people, pero you also have to help yourself. So make sure na you save something for yourself. Kaya nga self-love muna yan, yung lagi natin narinig right now, which is true pa rin. It has a lot of truth in terms of personal finance about self-love, because at the end of the day, yung savings mo are the ones who are gonna save you the moment that you can no longer work. So yon, and make sure na when you're helping others, yun talagang hindi sila nagiging dependent sa'yo. Kasi minsan, yung pagtulong natin sa ibang tao is napapasama pa sa kanila, kasi they start to depend on you when they can live life on their own. Ayaw lang nila kasi they know that it's much easier na magbanat ng buto. Paano ba magbanat ng buto ang mga ibang ng mga breadwinners, mga sinusuportan ng breadwinners? Ganito po sila magbanat ng buto. Oh, di ba? Napakadali. Ate, pengi naman pambili ng bagong Jordan. Ganun lang. You don't have to work, di ba? Isang PM lang kay ate. So, ayun, it's good to give. I mean, wala naman nagiging mahirap just by simply giving. Pero of course, you really have to save something for yourself pa rin. Yan, oo. Sabi ni kumuha ko and nagbayad ng life insurance na hindi ko full na binayaran ko. Wala palang critical illness coverage. Oh! Oo nga. Grabe naman yon. Ang mahal na, wala pang critical illness, no? Kumuha ka pa ng life insurance. Well, good thing, meron ka ng critical illness insurance. Ayan. Oo, kasi kaya dapat you really have to read the fine prints ng iyong contract, kasi baka mamaya yung life insurance mo doesn't include the important riders like critical illness and total disability cover. Mahirap na pagka nandun na sa moment na magki-claim ka, ay nako, wala ka namang critical illness eh. Kailangan mo munang mamatay para magkaroon ng claim. May mga ganun. So unfortunately, hindi na. Another financial horror stories ko before is takot ako sa financial advisors. Feeling ko bebentahan lang, which I think most Filipinos is iwas pa din. Oo nga, sa financial advisors. Well, yeah, that's true. Kasi nga, isa sa mga financial horror stories sa Philippine history is yung pagbagsak ng yung pre-need plans na yan. And yan ang lagi ko naririnig na rebuttal or objection sa akin. Sabi niya, paano ako magtitiwala sa ganyan, sa insurance, sa education plan? Yun yang dati yung cap nga kahit gaano katibay, nabubuwag din. Well, totoo naman yun. May mga ganong companies na pag hindi na sustain is talagang magko-collapse. And the problem with cap kasi is yung pera ng mga clients nila or ng investors nila, nilagay nila sa mga funds na hindi nagpe-perform. Okay? Meaning, kung yung education, yung inflation ng education back then was at, I think it was at 7 or 6%, naka-invest sila sa mga investment vehicles na hindi makakasabay dun sa inflation ng education. Kaya nga ang mga education plans ngayon ng ilang mga financial institutions are invested sa mutual funds kasi based on historical performance, mas nakakabit ng inflation din ang ilang mga mutual funds. So again, you really have to check muna yung performance ng funds na pipiliin mo. Pero yung mga gantong story na to, like yung sa cap, should not cripple you from not being financially literate. Kasi ang laki din na mawawalang opportunity sa'yo if you'll just be crippled by fear or by ignorance. Kaya nga, at this day and age, ang dami ng access sa information. You can easily Google it, you can YouTube it, you can easily search for people na credible source of information. Kaya baka yung mga ganyang story na yan is nakwento pa sa atin ng tito, tita, lolo, lola natin kaya hindi sila insured. And tingnan mo, yung iba, nalaman na lang yung importance ng insurance when the time happened na kailangan nila ng insurance. And normally, when those times come, it's already too late. And they would just blame na, ay, kasi may nagsabi sa akin na ganito. yung nangyari in the past. Kaya hindi ako kumuha ng insurance or hindi ako nag-save, hindi ako nag-ipon kasi takot ako mawala ang aking pera. So, yon. Dapat talaga, we really have to equip ourselves with the right information. So, we're already on the 30th minute. 37 minutes. Ang bilis naman ng oras. May kukwento pa si Kuya Jay. Pero before we continue, let's have a quick break. And of course, this episode is brought to us by none other than Dinari Cash.
Yo, what's up? This is Real Talk Darbs and I have very exciting news for you. Dinari Cash and Beam & Go has decided to tie up to bring groceries to your loved ones in the Philippines. By using the application Dinari Cash, you can actually deliver yung mga groceries na gusto nating ipadala door to door sa Pilipinas. In light of the community quarantine and growing COVID-19 cases in the Philippines, we are tying up with Beam & Go para sa mga kababayan nating OFW na nandito sa UAE to buy groceries. So what are you waiting for? Download Dinari Cash app now and enjoy a lot of services, not just sending money, but also sending grocery to your families at home.
And we're back. You're still with Kuya Jay, aka the Purpose Driven Advisor, and you're watching the Finance Friday episode number 22, where we are talking about financial horror stories. And meron isang comment dito si Brother Mato. Ayan, sabi niya sa akin dito, ang nakikita kong horror story is yung mga advisors na nangangako ng fixed amount sa fund value na binibenta ng product like 7M when you retire for only 1.5k a month. Wow, ilang taong kaya iipunin bro yung 1.5k na yan para ma-build yung 7M, right? So, oo, marami talagang nagbi-mis-sell ng mga products just to make sure na maka-reach na commission and makapag-travel incentive. Shout out sa mga... Hindi lahat, okay? I have a lot of friends and ano tawag dito, mga colleagues before na nasa financial service industry. And I know na most of them are doing the right thing. Well, I assume, of course. So, going back to our topic for this evening, financial horror stories, aking next story would be the family dream home dapat yan. Kaya lang, naging haunted house yung nangyari dyan. Why? Kasi this person approached me and telling me na meron daw siyang isang bahay na binabayaran for her family sa kanyang parents kasi siya ay isang panganay. And parang sabi niya sa akin na for the longest time of her working life, hindi niya na-feel na parang meron siyang parang hindi niya ma-feel na isa siyang panganay. Na parang palagi siya yung napagsasabihan ng mas younger siblings niya and wala siyang say, wala siyang decision. So, nung umuwi siya sa Pilipinas, ilang years na, 3 or 4 years ago, may nag-invite sa kanya na bumisita sa isang site o sa isang construction site kung saan merong mga bahay na for sale. And nainganyo siya na kumuha na kasi affordable naman daw sa kanya yon and gusto niya ma-prove sa kanyang mga kapamilya na kaya ko kayong bigyan ng bahay kasi sila ay nakatira sa farm. And malayo, hindi accessible yung farm sa mga key establishments and pangarap talaga niya and family nila na magkaroon ng maayos na bahay. So, ginawa niya, bago siya umuwi, minadadali niya talaga to kasi malapit na yung flight niya. And bago siya umuwi, nag-sign siya ng contract and nung nandun siya sa bahay nila, sinurprise niya yung kanyang parents, binigyan niya siya ng susi. Oo, susi. Susi sa kanyang dream home. Sa kanilang dream home. So, yung long story short, nakabalik niya siya ng UAE and nakatira na dun yung family niya for like 3 years. Kaya lang, ito nangyari. Maliban sa dumating si COVID, hindi niya na-calculate yung amount na babayaran niya talaga. So, long story short, hindi na masustain yung pagbabayad nung bahay. So, she was forced na hindi na ituloy yung pagbabayad kasi nga hindi na niya masusustain, and yung family niya was forced to go back dun sa kanilang bahay sa farm. And one of the lessons here is always ito, when you're purchasing a home, ito na siguro buying a house would be one of the biggest purchases ng bawat Filipino eh. Might buy it once in their life, so it's one of the biggest expense na ating kakaharapin. So it's always important na we calculate everything from the down payment to the mortgage, and yung probability or yung mga what ifs natin eh. What if mawalan ako ng work? What if magkasakit ako? What if bigla akong magpakasal? Paano ko i-sustain yung bahay na to? Or paano ko i-sustain yung investment na to? Or any other form of investment? Lagi nating iisipin palagi yung mga worst case scenario, yung mga what if. It's not because you are attracting the bad things to happen, pero you're just preparing for anything that might happen. Kaya well, nung nira namin yung finances niya, sabi ko, okay, well, hindi na talaga siya realistic na i-sustain. And if, sabi ko, do you think you can find a job na mas malaki sweldo mo? Or meron ka bang family member who would want to help you in paying that house? Sabi niya, wala eh. And even yung mga family members niya din daw back then was not, hindi sila boto dun sa decision niya na bumili ng bahay right then and there. Pero sabi niya, hindi, kaya ko yan. Ito yung susi. Kayo nang bahala dyan. So, ayun nga, unfortunately, after 3 years, hindi siya na-sustain and they had to go back sa bahay nila sa farm. So, again, we really have to calculate all the costs, all the expenses na involved there. And paano masusustain if mawala ng work for a couple of months or years, paano natin babayaran tong bahay na to, itong property na to. So, you gotta make sure na ang ating investments na pag-iisipan. You consult with advisors, with financial planners para malaman mo rin yung numbers mo. Kasi it's hard to decide or to base your decision on or during the time that you are so happy. Like yung nangyari sa kanya, malapit na siyang bumalik ng UAE, number 1. So wala na, konti na yung time. So there's urgency. Second is, nandun yung feeling na sobrang saya niya na finally may maibibigay siyang something for her family. And nandun na yung bahay. Bayaran niya na lang yung down payment or your reservation fee yung kukuha na nila. So, if hindi mo iraran yung numbers, it's gonna be really a sad experience in the future. Kaya hindi lang tayo dapat nagmamadali. Especially sa pagbili ng bahay. Hindi dahil mukhang, naka-sale. COVID, bagsak yung presyo. I think I can afford this, blah, 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 blah. It's the perfect time. Pero kung lubog ka pa sa utang, wala pa emergency funds, most likely wala ka pa rin insurance, then it's still not the right time to buy. Parang ito nga yun eh. Anything right at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. So you gotta make sure na yung ginagawa mo is the right thing. Hindi pwedeng ganun, okay? So, any right investment at the wrong time is still the wrong investment. Yon. Now, medyo may hugot ba si Kuya Jay? Walang hugot si Kuya Jay noon. Lalo na dito, sa last na story ni Kuya Jay, okay? Ito yung story of the one that got away. Totga! Dito love story una sa lahat. Ito po, yung story nung nawala akong pera. Okay. Ilang beses pa nawala pera ni Kuya Jay? Siguro nung bago siya sa Dubai, mga twice. Ito yung story ko ng mga na-scam ako ng mga nakausap ko eh. Kaya nga the one that got away, those scammers got away with my money. And di nga the one to the two people that got away. So yung una was nung una kong pagkuha ng life insurance ko. So 'di ba nakwento ko naman sa inyo nangyari nga sa family ko na nagkasakit yung father ko. So yun yung realization ko na kailangan pala talaga ng life insurance. It's mandatory for a person na may pangarap sa buhay na kumuha ng life insurance. So nung kumuha naman ako, una sa lahat, I was looking for a term life insurance kasi back then talaga sabi ko, I was doing my research. Kaya mas gusto ko term life insurance kasi I want to invest on my own. Kaya lang, since bago pa lang nga si Kuya Jay sa industry ng o sa topic ng personal finance, nabentan si Kuya Jay ng whole life insurance. Okay. There's nothing wrong with whole life, okay? As long as you can sustain it. Pero ito nga, itong una kong advisor na to, ang mode of payment ko was cash. Hindi ko naman alam na hindi naman pala pwede yung ganun. Kasi bawal bawal magbayad ng cash sa advisors. And dapat pa lang ginawa ko was online transfer. Pero ako si tanga, ayan. Tiwala ko kaagad dun sa kausap ko na tawag dito, magbayad ako nung aking premium. So nagbayad ako ng mga 2 quarters. And sabi ko, ate, kumusta na yung policy ko? Ba't parang hindi pa siya active? Sabi niya sa akin, pag may tumawag sa'yo na na nagtatanong about do sa first na bayad mo, sabihin mo, ganito, sabihin mo, ganyan. Nagka-problema lang ako, ganyan. And then, yung na-issue yung policy ko, ang tagal. As in, ilang months na delay yun. So, okay naman. Na-issue naman siya, pero na-delay lang. And then, nagbayad ulit ako ng isa pang quarter, tapos hindi pa rin pumapasok yung payment ko. Sabi ko, ano po nangyari dun sa binayad ko? Nakabayad na ako ng siguro total nun is 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams for 'di ba for life insurance. Sabi niya, hindi na-aksidente ako, nasagasaan ako. And alam mo yun, yung mga ganung excuse na hindi mo alam kung totoo or what. So, unfortunately, yun nga, nalaman ko na ginagamit niya yung pera ko. Paano ko nalaman? Kasi meron akong mga ni-refer na kaibigan. Kasi sobrang advocate ako ng financial literacy nga, as in ever, mula nung na-realize ko how important it is, na may mga friends ako na gusto rin kumuha ng life insurance. So siya yung ni-refer ko. Siya lang yung kilala ko na nagbebenta ng life insurance. Ang ginawa niya, ganun din. Nagbayad yung mga friends ko na yun sa kanya ng kanilang premiums. And then, hindi pa rin na-i-issue yung policy. Etong mga friends ko na to, they're really, savage sila sa mga ganyan. Sabi, sana yung hindi pa na-issue yung policy namin, ano na nangyayari, ganyan, tinawagan, hanggang sa na-bad trip na yung mga tropa ko na yun, ayaw nila ituloy, nagre-refund na sila. Well, in fact, eligible sila sa refund kasi nga it's still within 30 days na free look period. So, hanggang sa hindi masagot nung una kong advisor na yon, yung mga kaibigan ko na yon, and na-escalate yung concern niya, and I think ewan ko kung na-terminate yung advisor na yon back then. Pero ang ending naman, nakuha ng mga kaibigan ko yung binayad nila na premiums, and then lumipat sila dun sa pangalawa ko advisor na very trustworthy, and pati ako doon din yung sumunod ko na policy sa kanya. So, yung sa una ko advisor, ewan ko na kung nasa na siya. I mean, ewan ko ilang beses siya nagpalit ng number, ang hirap niyang kontakin. Malalaman ko na lang, tatawag siya sa akin. One time tumawag siya sa akin, umiiyak kasi nga na-report siya nung mga ni-refer ko sa kanya. So, yun, I'm not sure kung ano yung pinagdadaanan niya during that time. Hindi ko na rin binawi yung pera ko sa kanya. I just thought na it could have been, siguro she needed the money more than me during that time, and it could have helped her kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan during that time. So, yan yung and I really do hope na kung nasan man siya ngayon, if thank you for you, kasi kung hindi dahil sa experience ko na yon, hindi ko pinush yung sarili ko na maging financial planner. Dahil I know na there are still some people who are doing those things. And nakakalungkot dahil marami rin mga Filipinos dito na they sacrifice a lot of time, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of tears for their family back home. And nagkakataon na nakakamit sila ng mga kunyari concerned, pero i-scamin lang din yung pera mo. And hindi mo na mababawi yun. Kaya nga thought gato the one that got away. The one that got away with your money. Diba? So, tama yan. Sa early stage ng learning sa personal finance, marami talagang may encounter na scam na tao. Oo, totoo yung bro. Ang dami. And ito pa isang scam na experience ko dito is no first year ko pa rin sa UE nga, is yung kasama ko sa bahay noon was saan ba siya nag-work? Ayoko na i-mention, but Um, in-invite niya ako dun sa mGoldex. So, mGoldex is a Ponzi scheme. Hindi ko pa nga alam kung ano ibig sabihin ng Ponzi scheme back then. Akala ko networking siya na ano. Kaya marami ring may mga tao na masama ang tingin sa networking. Kasi nga sa mga ganong klaseng mga Ponzi scheme, ginagamit nila yung legit na business model ng mga legit na multi-level marketing companies, and then nang-i-scam sila through that business model. Pero siguro sa ibang story, sa ibang episode ko na i-explain yung MLM, but dito sa situation ko na to, yung second story ko ng the one that got away with my money is, sabi nitong kasama ko sa bahay, uy boy, kumuha ka dito sa Dubai, walang nai-scam. Alam mo kapag tinakbo mo yung, pag may nagtakbo ng pera mo dito, mahaharang yan sa airport. Napaka high-tech dito. Wala na-scam dito, boy. Ganun, wala na-scam dito, boy. Oo, ganun ka pa siya ganun siya ka convincing. Eh ako naman, si tanga na naman, di ba? Talaga ba? Wala ba na-scam dito? Oo, boy, wala na-scam dito, boy. Kasi this is Dubai. Oo, you can buy anything here in Dubai. And wala na-scam dito sa Dubai, boy. Ganun yung ano niya. Ganun siya ka-enthusiastic sa kanyang mGoldex na investment na proposal sa akin. So ako naman, and nagkataon din, syempre kachat ko yung parents ko, sabi na, uy, Kuya Jay, meron tayong mga kakilala na galing Dubai or nag-invest dyan sa, mainit ngayon yan dito, yung mGoldex. And even if you Google that company, ako ginugol ko kanina, miss ko yun. Nandun pa nga ako sa group chat namin. Naalala ko bigla yung group chat namin ng mga ka-mGoldex ko back then. Na ang gagawin mo lang talaga dyan is maglalagay ka ng, sabi niya yung 4,000 mo, gagawin ko 15,000 dyan in 3 months. So, sabi ko talaga, paano yun? Dali lang yun, boy. Magre-recruit ka lang, boy. Ganun lang. Puro boy, di ba? Pero sabi ko, nasan yung gold? May gold ba yan? Meron, boy. Meron gold dyan. Sa office niyan. May office daw. Saan ba office? May Burj Khalifa pa atin. May YouTube pa yun. Nakita ko pa YouTube nun. May office daw eh. Nandun yung logo, ganyan. Tapos meron pa sa video, may gold. Pero wala talaga nakitang gold. Physical lang. Siya mismo, wala nga siyang gold. Talaga nagre-recruit na siya. Eh, yun. Tapos, nagkataon din na nag-message sa aking parents ko. Sabi na, ito. May kilala ako dito kasama ko sa bahay na kumita na dyan. So, ginawa nila, pinadala na ako ng pera dito. So, it's not technically my money. It's my parents' money na pinadala nila dito sa akin para i-invest nga doon sa, sa mGoldex na yan. So, eto, dumaan na yung 3 months. What month was that? July, October. Mga October or November. Sabi ko, kuya, nasaan yung 15K ko? Sabi ko, ako boy, medyo mainit ngayon. Nagpalit tayo ng pangalan. Nagpalit sila ng pangalan ng Global Intergold. Gig. Pangalan, may gig. Yan. So, ang nangyari, nung nagpalit sila ng pangalan, sabi, okay, sige. Tingnan, nagkaroon ng mga, nagkaroon ng mga, what you call this? Nagkaroon ng mga iba-ibang scheme para makapaghikayat pa ng mga ilang investors. Tapos, ang nangyari doon was, nagpalit ng pangalan, wala na nakakuha ng pera, nag-escapo na lahat ng mga nag-invest doon, and then pumutok yung balita na, ayan, pinatigil na siya ng SEC, and as the saying goes, adios. Wala nang maisip na saying, but thank you sa iyong pagtitiwala, and wala na yung pera mo. Ang dami rin. May mas malala pa dun ha, by the way. If narinig niyo yung Exensya, I think isa yun sa pinakamalakala dito. It's a forex scam dito sa UAE. Sa may Aramco ba yung office nila? Nabasa ko lang din yan. And a lot of Filipinos got scammed because of that. Mga guaranteed returns na yan, okay? Na 30% in 30 days. Oh my God. Kung totoo lang, edi sana lahat yumaman na, di ba? And again, one thing that I learned sa ganito is that, yung scam ako, natutunan ko dito is that, palagi sinasabi to when I got the interview sa ABS-CBN na, ignorance and greed. Yan. Ignorance and greed is the perfect combination for financial disaster. If wala ka nang alam sa ginagawa mo, greedy ka pa, malamang talaga sa malamang. And I'll be very honest with you. Nung point, yun yung point in life na na-realize ko na parang ang dami ko sinayang na panahon in my early 20s na I could have saved, I could have invested, na sinayang ko sa sapatos, na sinabi ko, kailangan kong bawiin yung lahat ng kapalpakan ko talaga sa finances. And the more na I chased money during that time, I had to do some inisip ko na mag-shortcut na lang na siguro ito dito na sa M-Goldex ako yayaman, ito na yung susi sa pagyaman. Yun, mas lalong nasunog si Kuya J. Itim na nga ni Kuya J. Nasunog pa siya. Grabe, 'di ba? And until today, I'm still paying for those mistakes that I made for the last 5 years. Kaya ito nga lagi sinasabi sa clients ko when they are introduced to a certain investment, na good thing naman, my clients are really messaging me na asking advice if this is legit or not. Lalo na for Saj na yan, okay, shout out kung sino mga nagpasimuno niyan sa Pinas. Okay, so tigil nyo na yung pang-i-scam nyo guys. So, mga ganun na ayoko mangyari sa mga clients ko na experience ko kasi it was really painful. And isipin nyo yung one mistake na yun and 1 to 2 4 mistakes na yun in that year, until now it haunts me. Okay? Mayroon pa rin siya mga effects sa akin. Kasi nga, yun nga, I mean, I didn't do my research. I did not research, I did not read, I did not seek proper guidance. Hinayaan ko lang yung sarili ko, hinayaan ko lang yung feelings, hinayaan ko lang ibang tao na mag-dictate or magbigay sa akin ng mga ganito klaseng investments without me doing my due diligence. So yun nga, you really have to do your own due diligence, then seek the advice of professionals na pinagkakatiwalaan nyo sa ng pera ninyo. And ano pa, you really have to make sure na alam mo yung pinag-i-investan mo. Kasi if hindi, kahit stock market pa yan, kahit gaano ka-legit ang isang investment, if you do not know what you're doing, you're gonna lose money. So yan yun. And marami rin nagsusulputan ngayon na cryptocurrencies, and then ang business model is magre-recruit. Hindi po ganun kumikita ang cryptocurrency. And up until this day, I do not recommend cryptocurrency kasi I do not understand what cryptocurrency is, how it works. Wala. As in talaga. Kaya, pwedeng siguro in some years, maging legit na currency siya. Pero, hindi pa rin siya talaga totally regulated. So, yun. If you're gonna ask Kuya Jay about cryptocurrency, I do not recommend that. But if you really wanna try it, it's very risky for me. Lalo na kung di ko alam talaga. Ayoko talaga, I don't wanna put my money in that instrument. But if you wanna do that, then bahala ka. You just put your money, siguro 1% of your income. You know na you can lose. Go do that. Pero itong itong mga obvious na mga Ponzi scheme na to, you don't go into this kind of investments. Kasi even yung pangalan mo yung madadali dito eh. So, yun, mahirap. And unfortunately, dun sa tao nga nag-invest nang hikayat sa akin dyan, I think I've heard na nagkasakit siya. So, siguro yun, sa pressure din na binigay sa kanya nung situation, dahil biktima din siya, I think, I would want to believe na biktima rin siya noon. Kasi nga, marami talaga sa atin ang gusto yumaman kaagad. And the more we chase money, the more it runs faster. That's what I experience. Kaya, you really have to find ways on how you can earn money legally and do the things. May mga nasabi na mahirap kumita ng pera. Well, yeah, pero may mga bagay naman na may mga mahirap na bagay na you enjoy doing. And tulad nito, itong live na to, di ba? Although I'm not really making money out of this, pero I enjoy doing this. And since I'm just constantly putting up content, I get to attract some brands who trust my personal brand then. So through that collaboration, through the partnerships, I earn something out of that. So, pero in this, it's not directly asking money from someone. Pero I just love sharing information about financial literacy. So, those are the stories na may share ni Kuya Jay this evening. And thank you dun sa mga nag-share kila Miss Maricris and kay Brother Mato for their comments sa ating episode this evening. And if meron kayo na-miss, hindi nyo na nahabol itong live ni Kuya Jay, meron naman itong recording. Yung recording na to will be uploaded sa aking Pera and Purpose podcast. Make sure you follow it, okay? And listen to it every week. Ayan. Pero ito would be uploaded after 2 weeks pa. So if you have any questions, clarifications about the things that I said, you can always DM me or contact or connect with me sa kahit anong social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Yon. Okay? And next week is gonna be magandang week. First week of November. Medyo maganda ang ating start. Meron tayong special guest. And one of the influential people dito sa UAE na I'm sure siguro kilala nyo na rin. And marami tayong matutunan sa kanya in terms of investing in our learning. So, surprise. Malalaman nyo pag gumawa ko ng poster, malalaman nyo kung sino siya. And sana matuwa kayo doon kasi nga marami, gusto ko malaman kung paano niya na-reach yung status niya right now from the usual na pagiging OFW up until the highest rank sa kanyang company. So, yon. Ayoko, baka makwento ko pa kung sino siya. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. So, ulitin, kita-kits. Bye-bye!